Okay, and we're ready for another edition of Brooks Buzz. Brooke, we watch so many reality TV shows, and we don't have time to cover them all, but that's why we're happy to have Brooke cover just what's happening in her corner of the reality TV world. So what you got for us this week, Brooke?
I don't have a lot.
Yeah.
First one, coming out of Bachelor Nation, we have Hannah Brown is engaged.
Okay.
What? You love her.
Right, but, you know.
Okay. Well, she's engaged to someone who's not in Bachelor Nation, surprisingly.
Which is why it's like, well...
I mean, I'm happy for her though. I hope it's a lasting love. I hope it works out for her.
Okay.
Okay, then we're gonna kind of skirt over to Bravo.
Mm-hmm.
Kim and Croy we talked about them a couple weeks ago.
Yeah.
They were getting divorced, but then they were back together. Well, now the divorce is back on.
Okay.
So I don't know. They're both a little I don't want to be rude, but
please don't.
they're just an interesting match.
Yeah, no,
so I
definitely.
can't say I'm too surprised,
Yeah.
But I actually did think they worked really well together.
Yeah.
But I guess not. And she was like, I saw this TikTok where she was on Instagram and she was like trying to sell all of her designer bags.
Yeah.
And she was like majorly upcharging them. And this girl was like, she's selling this for $10,000. But I literally found it on this, like brand new on this website for $8,000.
Yeah.
So it was kind of just like, oh, Kim, I'm sorry you're going through it,
Yeah.
But she'll be okay.
Is she like, do you think they'd ever have Kim back on the show? I remember this lady from my office said Kim was one of her favorite housewives ever.
Really?
Do you think because that would help her with what she's going through?
Yeah, I definitely do. She actually made an appearance on this season of Real Housewives of Atlanta.
Okay.
Which is where
she's still in the sphere.
Well, yeah. She also had a spinoff for a while that was like her own show, but that got canceled.
I do remember that. I think that's where I saw her the most.
But I definitely think that they would have her come back. And I think that she's soon going to get to a place where she needs the income.
Kim, it's okay. Go ahead and go back.
Just come on, Kim. It's okay. We'll welcome you. Probably not everybody will, but I will. We will. Right? Which that is actually a good segue into Real Housewives of Atlanta because we just finished the season. The season ended.
Yeah.
And right at the very end, we got a taste of Drew Sidora and her husband Ralph's divorce. Mm-hmm. So like the beginning of the season, they were like, things are so good. We're doing really well. Okay. But then we kept seeing these previews of like things actually aren't good. And plus we already knew like out in the open that they had both filed for divorce. Right. So literally on the last 2 minutes of the episode, it's like, they do the all dramatic where they flash the date up on the screen. Yeah. And they're like, an hour after Drew filed for divorce. And she's like in there doing her like one-on-one. Right. And they really give us nothing. They're like, the producers are asking questions and both of them in their individual interviews are like, I'm going to have to call my lawyer. So it's just like, okay, all right. I mean, I get it. It makes sense, but...
I don't know if I saw much of... I haven't watched a full episode of Atlanta with you in a long time. But I do remember seeing a lot of, like... didn't she go on dates? I guess they would show her and her husband when they were struggling going on dates. I remember seeing an episode of them on a date and arguing about something and just being like, these two are
Unfortunately,
cooked.
It has been rocky from the jump. Like, day one of her on the show.
Okay.
It was a disaster. Like, they were coming off of some big fight, and he left and went to Florida but like didn't tell her where he was
Mm-hmm.
going, and it was like this huge
Yikes.
storyline her first season.
Okay.
So they have been rocky from the jump.
Yeah.
So in that interview, she was like, I've been keeping a lot of things from him. Like he's cheated on me several times.
Yeah.
She basically said. Now, and then he also is alleging that she cheated.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just really messy.
Okay.
They also were very public and like put their couples therapy. They put them going to therapy on the show.
Yeah.
So,
Well,
they've
do you
been.
want to make your weekly appeal to be the therapist or the counselor?
Listen, if a Real Housewives ever comes to Houston,
They need you.
then I will be the therapist for the couples
Right.
or just individuals
Right. Okay.
when they come.
Fair enough.
I will totally do that.
Andy, take that.
Yeah.
Take note.
Take note. Thank you. Yeah. So that's Real Housewives of Atlanta. Oh, I'll be interested to see if on the reunion if they kind of get more into that, but I'm sure it'll just be more of like, I really can't talk about that, it's ongoing, which whatever, that's fine. Okay, and then last thing, Bethany Frankel still leading the charge of taking down Bravo.
Just Bravo? I thought it was reality TV like as a whole concept.
Well, I saw on page 6 that she's actually like trying to get a lawsuit together against Bravo and NBC. And it said that she alleged that she has like 80 reality stars that are like signing some petition or something.
Yeah. Okay.
So we'll see how that all plays
we are
out.
pro-worker on this podcast, so,
I mean, hey, yeah, if it works out,
Yeah.
we'll see.
Okay.
We'll see how it shakes out.
Exactly. It's weird just to think about that since they're so, I'm assuming Bethany Frankel's pretty well off.
Oh, yeah.
So, and we talked about this extensively a couple podcasts ago. But, if there's something that needs to be resolved, I hope it gets resolved.
Same.
So is that what we got for Brooke's Buzz?
That's it.
Thank you. We've been thinking about Brooke's Buzz. I'm thinking about, when you think Brooke's Buzz, picture a bee, floating around the people's rows. Brooke's, going from rows to rows, getting us a scoop on whatever reality show we need. So we appreciate the hard work you do 5 minutes before the podcast.
Hey, I have been studying all week.
No, you're right. Okay, that's it for Brooks Bros, but we do got some other reality shows. I think in general, I don't get a segment, but I think both of us would like to talk about. Was that today or yesterday that we saw the Golden Bachelor?
Yesterday.
Yeah, their cast was out. Do you have it up?
Yeah, I do.
We're looking at the women. They announced they had a video. It was more than just like, okay, on the regular show, they just, throw the guys or the girls up in front of like a green screen backdrop and have them do some awkward dance and be like, I'm Jared from Houston and I'm ready to, whatever.
Yeah.
I'm ready to podcast my way to Brooke's heart, whatever it is. And they throw some stupid bio together. But these, rightfully so, I think, these casts for the Golden Bachelorette, these women were given like a whole introduction video that was, I think, very like, well put together. It looked, I thought, very tasteful.
Oh yeah, it was beautiful. It was very well done.
They were very well dressed.
They did like a cast photo, and they all had black dresses on, and they were all like posed so cool.
Right. It was like a cover shoot for like a cool magazine.
Yeah,
or something.
it was very cool.
And
very
they all,
well done.
I don't know if all of them, but a lot of them got to give like little blurbs, not about who they were, but just
a little bit, yeah.
Well, in their like intros online, but I'm saying in the video they were just talking about like, oh, I'm just ready for love. Oh, you're right, because they talked about some of them have been in previous marriages for long and lots of time.
Yeah, and remember like half of them were like, I love pickleball,
Oh
pickleball.
And that's the humor that we still love to expect. I'm just so excited for this. We got a cast of beautiful older women from age range. I don't know the exact range, but it looks like they went
Yes.
from 60 to 70, 60 up, but the oldest looks to be 75.
Yeah. They got several 60-year-olds, but
Mm-hmm.
only one 75-year-old.
Which, who is that 75-year-old? Oh, that's Pamela.
Sandra.
Oh, so there's a couple
Wait, where's
75.
Pamela?
Yeah, so we're looking at the cast. We have them here before us. And we're just really excited.
Oh, yeah, I see.
There's some standout. Well, there's one standout, of course, Matt James' mother,
Oh,
a
yeah. We
previous
all saw
bachelor.
that coming.
Yeah,
But
she's a
I love
previous,
it. I
the
think
mother
that's
of a previous
fun.
bachelor. Yeah,
Oh, you just know that Matt and uh,
Rachel Kirkconnell.
Rachel are going to make some sort of appearance.
You know, I think that, but I think they would hope they would wait that and see if they do like a final hometown date or something to that effect.
Yeah, true.
So, I mean, we're gonna give extensive coverage when it comes to the Golden Bachelor, and we're gonna meet and get to know these women and Gary. Is it? Wow, I can't remember now. Is it Gary or Jerry? I think it's Gary, right?
It's Gary, but it's spelled like Jerry.
Right. And the women, it seemed like they knew already that it was Gary, which I thought was good. That there wasn't like, oh,
Yeah.
just anybody. It
Right.
seemed like they'd given them a chance to consider it.
Right.
Are there any early standouts? I know we're not going to hold you to this prediction, but is there anyone that just jumps out? Like, I don't see how Gary wouldn't be interested in her from either the video or the cast photos and bios that we have.
Well, Edith,
Mm-hmm.
she has long gray hair.
Mm-hmm.
She's beautiful. And her
Okay.
hair reminds me of my mom's hair. So I think
Okay.
I'm like partial.
Fair.
But I feel like I just think she's so beautiful. So she
Yeah.
might have a shot. Now April is a mess. She was on the
Okay,
thing.
hold on. We don't know anything about her yet.
No, she in the video.
Yeah.
She was the one that was like, what did she say? She said,
I don't watch anything with old people in it. I don't watch TV with old people in it.
Yeah.
I'm trying to stay young.
yeah,
Which is, unfortunately, Brooke, let's be real, I don't think she's the only one who would have a sentiment like that. Do you think
why
you
are
would?
you saying
I'm just
that?
saying-
Like you're saying I would have.
Do you
that
know what? That was
sentiment?
honestly the first thought I thought. I was like, man, that sounds like something Brooke would say.
I
if
don't
she was
even
like-
watch shows about high schoolers because it feels weird. What are you talking about? I watch Real Housewives of New York and they're older women.
But yeah, okay, we'll see. Mark, okay, we'll ask.
Oh, you're saying when I'm 60?
Right.
Okay, we'll
Right,
see.
we'll see.
We'll see. But then I just saw that she's a therapist.
That's what I'm.
Oh my
I saw that,
God.
so I was like,
I did not see
let's
that.
not call the kettle black here. You know what I
Oh
mean?
my gosh.
I think I don't know if I have any standouts. I do think they're all very beautiful women. I like that it's a diverse cast. I like that we're getting women from different stages of their life, even though they're all golden per se, and they're all from different parts of the country, which is I think is going to be interesting. You know, do you really want your grandma to move to another state to be with a guy that you don't really know? I don't know. I just think it's gonna be an interesting season.
Remind me where he lives again?
It's like west of Midwest. I want to say it's not Minnesota, but I think it's like up or closer to that area.
Okay.
I can't remember exactly. Maybe it's Idaho. I truly think it's Idaho.
What? That is so random. Who
Right.
lives in Idaho?
No, I think that's like the perfect place for an old bachelor to live. It feels right. It feels earned. You know, you're an old bachelor in Idaho. It's like, yeah, let's get this guy a wife. He can't be lonely in Idaho.
Dude,
Um,
there ain't no girl on here from Idaho.
But there's some people from Minnesota.
No, there's not.
Yes, there is. There was a lady from Minnesota.
There's an Illinois. There's a couple Illinois.
Right, which is close to Idaho. It's not totally unbelievable.
Okay, there's a Minnesota.
Right. I can't remember. I can't believe we don't remember that house because if you remember, him and his previous wife bought that house to retire in. You know what I mean? So that holds a special place. But wherever it is, Gary and his future choice are going to have to decide, do they want to live there? Do they want to find a place for themselves? You know, because it's more than just his love story. It's also will be hers, whoever she may be.
Right.
So we're excited. We just can't wait. Another show that we can't wait that it's coming back this fall. All reality shows are coming back this fall because of the writer's strike. We are pro actors. We are pro writers. Well, in the loose sense, against the studios, right? So we're not mad about it. Continue to strike for what you is. It's the people's rose. You know what I mean? Power to the people. Anyways, so all the reality shows are coming back, and one we're really excited about is The Amazing Race.
Dun,
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 dun, dun,
dun,
dun.
we
Um,
will have dreams
right. Oh
with that
yeah.
repeat.
If you're a real Amazing Race fan, you know that. Oh yeah. that they play.
A classic.
So The Amazing Race is coming back. This is so crazy. They announced, they show. We have also this cast. It doesn't look like they casted anybody. You okay? You got to get you
Sleepy.
some
Sorry.
caffeine. We record this, I believe it's 3 a.m. on.
Okay, listen. We have a toddler. I'm doing the best I can over
Yeah.
here.
So we sorry that yawn. I'm sorry, it really took us out of that. So Amazing Race is back, and we have the cast. We don't see anyone that jumps out as someone we see from another show or someone
Yeah.
who's. And the Amazing Race will do that sometimes.
Yeah, like usually there's somebody
Mhm.
from Survivor
Right.
or Big Brother.
Not this time though.
But maybe it's just because of time frame.
Right.
Because like Big Brother's still ongoing right
Right.
now, you know?
Right. So yeah, that is but I like that though. It'll be fine. We'll get to meet new people. But another cool thing about it is they apparently, reading the article, they had this season, excuse me, they had a season already recorded, right?
Mm-hmm.
For whatever reason, their schedule allowed them to, I can't remember if it was a COVID thing or just something. They had a season ready to go, a full season full of 60-minute episodes. And, but now CBS, I guess, approached them and said, hey, we want 90-minute episodes for the fall. We're going to do Survivor 90 minutes and you 90 minutes. We're going to put it back to back. And that's going to be all that's on TV, in the fall for CBS on Wednesdays.
Wow.
Because of, they're trying to fill airtime.
Yeah.
So instead of padding out those 60-minute season episodes, a 60-minute episode season that they already had, and try to stretch those out, which I mean, a lesser show would have tried to do, and they had just really boring filler episodes. They actually just went and did another Amazing Race this summer, and with the purpose of having 90-minute episodes. So we've got 13 teams, the most that's ever been in an Amazing Race before. There's going to be no what do they call it when you're no non-elimination legs. They are going to have express passes are coming back. They're going to bring commercial flights back, which is one of the best parts. It's feeling like an old school season of Amazing Race. We got people we don't know, right? We got commercial flights because they're fighting. So they're fighting in the airport.
Yeah.
If you don't watch Amazing Race, that's a big part of it. They got to race to the airport. But because of travel restrictions these last few years, they've had charter flights, which is just not the same.
It's not the same.
It's not the same Amazing Race. So the commercial flights are back. We got a large field. We're getting 90-minute episodes that were intended to be 90-minute episodes, so they're not going to be filler.
Wait, so I'm confused. When are we going to see the 1-hour episode season?
They're just going to probably shelve it until spring.
You're kidding.
Well, yeah, if they have an episode ready to go, so CBS is like, hey, if we don't have any new shows, we got another Amazing Race locked and loaded, which I'm not mad about.
Gosh.
But can you imagine if you ran that race at this point like 2 years ago?
Right.
And you've been like, I promise, guys, we ran a race.
You're like, I won. And people are like, okay.
Okay.
Right.
What if this is how we announce to our family that we ran the Amazing Race?
Attention,
Right,
everybody.
right. You're like, you remember I went AWOL that one spring? That's where I was.
On the live feeds, I saw Corey and somebody
Live feeds of Big Brother
talking about how. Sorry, I'm getting off track. But talking about how they're doing 90 minutes of Survivor and 90 minutes of.
How'd they know?
I don't know, but they said they were doing 90 minutes of Survivor and 90 minutes of Amazing Race, and they said maybe we're doing 90-minute eps too, and then they were like, no, because they told us about the other two. Why didn't they tell us about? Why wouldn't they?
Right.
Tell us about
No, I think because if I remember correctly, when Survivor and Amazing Race come on, Big Brother is doing 100 eps this season. Okay, Brooke, do we need a break for coffee?
I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. I just feel bad. You're over. But anyways, so when when Amazing Race and Survivor come back, I think Big Brother's changing days because it comes on Wednesday now.
Oh, that's what you were saying
So I
when
think
they
they'll go to
said
Tuesday.
they'll go to Tuesday. Okay.
So I think they had to tell the cast of Big Brother that's airing right now, hey, if it's still changing.
Yeah.
So we are equally excited about the Amazing Race. So for those who are keeping count, coming this fall, shows that we are going to attempt to cover on this podcast. I told you at the beginning, this podcast alone is an action-packed podcast because we got so much to talk about.
Right.
But we're going to attempt to cover the Golden Bachelor.
Yeah.
The final weeks of Big Brother, The Amazing Race.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like there's another one.
Eventually Paradise.
Oh my goodness. Bachelor in Paradise.
Which also the cast was announced this week.
And who cares? You know what's so crazy? Paradise used to be the Bachelor Nation show that I cared about the most.
Yeah.
I used to say, like, the only reason I watched Bachelorette and Bachelor was to know who's going to be on Paradise. But you know what's changed?
What?
I'm a married man now. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, so you don't need to look at the hot girls on the beach?
Yeah, the thought of gallivanting on the beach and,
brother.
dating who I wanted to date. It's just not even part of my, wants in life anymore.
Oh, good to know.
I'm looking for a long-term commitment that I have and continue. But that's the show I want to watch. It's people who are looking for that. Not this get plastered on the beach and for a relationship that's not real. Am I going to watch?
Oh, my gosh.
Yes, of course I'm going to watch. It's just not the same.
Okay, valid.
And then we skipped over. We don't really have time, but Project Runway, Project went home for the people who watch that show and care. It was time.
It was time.
His outfit that he went home on was a deserving outfit to get eliminated on. And we couldn't, before the show, we were trying to remember who was all left. I think we're at either final 4 or 5.
Yeah.
But
at least we know for sure Brittany,
Laurence,
Rami, and Bishmi.
And
if there's a 5th, we're sorry.
We're so sorry.
We're so sorry.
Watch them be the one that's like the winner.
I know.
If you had to guess real quick in the next 10 seconds, who do you think's going to win at this point? Who's the best designer left?
Bishmi.
Okay. I think Bishmi is the best designer left. And I also do think he's kind of been getting a winner's edit. So.
Yeah.
Also, we're going to make this really quick. Brooke and I are considering having a little series where we go behind the scenes of trying out for a reality TV show. Uh-huh. We had a conversation. We were talking about House Hunters. Uh-huh. And we just seen so much about how House Hunters is basically fake. We'll talk about it when we do the series, but we think it would be fun, don't you think, Brooke, to apply to reality TV shows and document our journey to hopefully getting on one.
Right.
Now, there's some holy grails of reality TV that I wouldn't even sully the application process by podcasting. I'm talking about Big Brother. I will go on the show one day. I'm not going to do it on the podcast.
Right.
But shows like House Hunters and, I don't know, if there's a show you would like to see.
We need to low stake ones.
Right. Shows you would like to see us apply for, let us know. We're going to
obviously we can't do 90 Day Fiance.
You say that, but we might find out that show is fake.
Oh,
I might have to put on the accent. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't do that.
How about Seeking Sister Wife?
Seeking
You know what? Husband.
No, Sister Wife. Now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh my gosh.
We're gonna put up either a question or a poll on our Spotify podcast. Like you can listen to us anywhere, but on the Spotify version of the podcast, there'll be a poll up or a question where you can submit your suggestions for shows we should apply to. Mm-hmm. And I don't know how soon we'll be doing that series, but I think it'll be fun to do and talk about and see what it's like on the people's rows for us to apply.
Oh, if we were in New York, I would say couples therapy.
No. I would never go on that show.
You don't want to be exposed?
No, I don't want to expose her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I unfortunately would, I don't know. We'll talk about that offline.
You'd probably make great TV for it.
People would be like, wow, Jared just solved everyone's problems. Wow, I just, and I don't want to do that. And they'd be like,
wow, Jared really thinks he knows everything.
Yeah, and it'd be like, and he does somehow? That's crazy. No, but, okay, yeah, so you'll hear more from us on